You've not really started thinking if you are not thinking on paper or in writing. Let me take that again. You've not really started thinking if you are not thinking on paper or thinking in writing. Think about that. Now, in the same vein, you're not really making the most of your journey of building anything without writing, without documenting. Whether it's your career, your business, your skill, your finances, whatsoever you might be building at this point of your life, you haven't started building until you start on paper. Think about it. There's no credible structure that stands today that started with block and cement. The building actually started on paper. It started from the architectural plan. They built on paper long before they built on the ground. Now, I want you to sit with that for a moment, because most of us think we are building. We assume we are making progress. I'm building this. I'm building that. I'm building something. But here's the question. Where is the evidence of what you are building? Especially at the early phase where you can't show maybe a tangible product or a tangible exhibit for it. Where is the evidence of what you are building? Where's the record of your thoughts? Where's the trail of your insights? Where is the paper trail of your progress? Now, if you can't point to that, you might not be building anything solid yet. I think I've shared this a couple of times already. The thought that clarity itself is progressive, right? Clarity does not come all at once. It's not like a light switch that you can flip and suddenly just turns on and everywhere is bright. No, clarity comes line upon line. Clarity comes precept upon precept. A little here, a little there. And the way you don't lose how much progress you have made is by putting down each insight that comes to you, each discovery that comes to you in that journey, in that progress of building. So think about it now. If you have a thought today, a powerful thought, very profound thought, and you don't write it down, what happens to that thought in the next 3 to 4 days? You just discover that it evaporates, it just floats away. By tomorrow, you might even not remember exactly what the thought was about. Maybe a faint picture of what it was. But some of the most cogent details might have just floated away and, slipped by you. And that's lost progress. That's lost clarity. For a builder, someone with the mindset of a builder, you understand that you don't joke with such tiny little details. And that's where documentation comes in. Now, here's something powerful that I want you to understand. When I say documentation, there's something documentation does. Documentation creates a sense of progress for you, regardless of what you are building. Even when you don't have a ready, tangible product, any tangible results to all the effort you are putting in, it's important to understand that when you document, you are automatically creating a track record, a sense of progress, a reason for you to be motivated to keep moving, to keep working, to keep researching, to keep digging on that same path that you're on, because there is some form of evidence, that can show you where you are coming from and where you are now. You are not just seeing what you're working on as something that is yet to produce a result. So most people feel like, I haven't made any progress because they don't have a product to show, they don't have a result to point to, and so there's no tangible outcome to what they are doing. But the truth is, progress is actually happening. Insights are coming to you, layer upon layer, things are building and joining together. But the problem is, if you don't document them, you will not be able to picture them. You won't be able to see them. You can't visualize the process, the progress you are making, because you have not been documented. So when you cannot see them, you won't really feel the intensity of what you've been doing. You won't be able to actually feel the value of work, the value of progress that you have made. And it's at that point that most people just give up and just, find something else to do with their time. But documentation is how you see and visualize and picture your progress. It's how you can look back and say, wow, 6 months ago, I didn't know this. 3 months ago, we're on this particular path. We didn't understand this. And now at this point, look at where we are. That's the power of documentation. Now, another thing is, when it comes to spotting opportunities, documenting does a lot for you. When you're in the game of spotting opportunities. I mean, it's easier for you to spot opportunities when you document. It's easier for you to find resources, to find loopholes when you document. It's easier for you to communicate your progress, even to partners and collaborators, when you document. So most people can communicate, oh, this is what I'm doing, this is the vision of what I'm building, and then they can tell you this is what we're doing, this is where we are going. They can paint that big picture, right? But can you also communicate your progress? Can you communicate the steps you have taken, the insights you have gained, the lessons you've learned on the way, the discoveries you've made, the advancements you've made, at different junctures? That is what changes everything. Because now you are not just somebody who has a balloon idea, just a dreamer somewhere. At that point, you are now a builder. And what people trust is not just someone with a balloon idea. They trust builders, not just dreamers. Builders. That's what documentation does for you. So here's the truth that you need to take to heart. I must have shared this on one of my previous podcast episodes, and it's concerning wealth creation, how that the peak of wealth creation of any form is actually tied to discoveries, the ability to connect discoveries to everyday human needs. You discover something in how maybe commerce works. You discover something in how people want to be served as it touches education. You discover something, just a discovery somewhere, and then you connect that, to everyday human need, and people are ready to give you money for that. Every wealth creation idea, every wealth creation system is tied to one form of discovery or the other. Now, looking at that, if you are talking discoveries, you don't necessarily have to make discoveries like discovering electricity, or discovering, let's say, crude oil. You don't have to do, something that's kind of esoteric that way, But there is no way you can make any reasonable discovery if you don't document. The several layers of progress and insight that it takes to actually make discoveries, they won't come to you at once. They will come at different points. If you research into people who have made significant contributions in any area, any industry, any field of life, you would see that their journey was not just a big bang journey. It was line upon line, pieces upon pieces, fragments and nudges and discoveries. Some of them, by chance, some of them by coincidence, but these things accumulated over time because they documented. And so they have that sense of progress as they document. One insight today, another insight on another week, another, seemingly big idea on another day before they hit another roadblock, but the fact that they can document, the fact that they document intentionally, they can see the value in the progress they are making. And that makes you more likely to actually arrive at a discovery, arrive at something worthwhile. But when the opposite is the case, you most likely just throw in the towel and just give up because you can't even see the progress you are making. You quit because you can't see how all these little pieces are actually accumulating. You can't even connect the dots because all the little pieces you are gathering, you've scattered them. You don't have a good grip of them. You have faint pieces of them in your memory, and now you can't build them up to something that is substantial. Now, no serious investor, no serious partner, for people that would say, oh, I'm looking for investors, I'm looking for collaborators, I'm looking for partners. No serious partner or investor would commit themselves to you more than your ability to articulate what you are trying to do and what you have done. They won't commit themselves to you, much more than your own ability to articulate, communicate clearly and effectively what you're trying to do and what you have done so far. They won't commit to you just because your idea is good. They won't commit to you just because you are passionate. They won't commit to you because you have a vision. A lot of people have visions. They won't commit to you just because, oh, the idea sounds nice. No, they will commit to you based on your ability to articulate the vision. And that level of articulation is not something that is given to just a few people. It's not a gift. It's not a gift of a few people. It's not something that quite some people are born with and some people are not. It is just a result of a mind that has been forced to think on paper, a mind that has been forced to think in writing. That mind has been exercised in putting the ideas into writing time and time again, over and over again. So that level of articulation is not a gift, it's not a talent. It's a result of discipline, the fruit of documenting. So when you force yourself to write, when you force yourself to put things down, your thinking becomes clearer. You can think clearly. You can connect dots that you could not see before. When you force yourself to document your progress, you are forcing yourself to connect the dots automatically. When you are forcing yourself to document, you are already forcing yourself to make discoveries by default. You do that long enough, something remarkable happens. Now, when you practice this art of documentation long enough on a project, you can easily, top of your head, speak for hours, dishing out, interesting, peculiar details without hesitation, without stuttering, without confusion. Why? You've already gone through it. You've gone through the thoughts, you've written them down, you've documented, you've processed it. That's one of the things documentation does. Documentation actually brings you to a point where you have to process those thoughts. You have to process those ideas. You would have to delineate and, put specifics to things. So a lot of times people don't get to eventually build anything successfully because they don't document, or they don't document enough. There's a way you can document that you document so shabbily, so superficial, so shallow documentation that you can't build anything solid out of it. So you are there speaking with somebody, but because you have processed this over and over again in your mind already has, thoughts and ideas that are already organized, connected to each other. Your brain is just picking up the connections that have been made through the process of documentation. So your mouth is just doing a catch-up, to what you've already done in writing. So you enter such a room, a boardroom, a partnership meeting, a conversation, and you are speaking with such depth, such clarity, such precision that people can't ignore you. You are speaking about what you are working on and how much progress you have made with so much dexterity, the kind of dexterity that comes from documentation. That kind of a person is a real builder. That's the kind of person that would successfully, keep going, meeting obstacles, surmounting them, and seeing the opportunities, seeing the dots to connect, seeing the way forward again and again. So let me leave you with this one statement, and that is make it plain. Make it plain. Whatever you're building, write it down. Every thought, every insight, every connection, everything that you seem important, reasonable, that is a contributing factor to what you are doing. Every failure, every lesson. Don't trust your memory to give it back to you. Your memory is quite unreliable. It's selective. Memory is selective, right? But paper is not selective. Paper does not fade. Paper remembers, And when I say paper, I mean every form of documenting. Either you're typing, you are writing, paper on ink on paper, any form of documentation that allows you to go back and retrace your thoughts, connect them with other thoughts, connect them with the things you are interfacing with day after day. So line upon line, precept upon precept, you are building the level of clarity that it takes to actually complete that which you're trying to build. It helps you get to a point where you can say, oh, this is how much I have done. This is the road to where we are going, and this is how far we have gone. So you can correctly articulate what you are doing, and that's how you build. So don't forget, you've not really started thinking if you are not thinking on paper or in writing, and you have not really started building if you are not documenting. So make it plain and get started today. Now, if you got value from this episode, I want you to do something for me. I want you to share with me in the comments what came home to you. I want you to also share this episode with someone. Share it with someone that needs to, catch this idea, who needs to actually glean something from this episode. And while you're at that, you can follow the Luminary Podcast on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Audiomack. You can also connect with me personally. Connect with me personally on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube at the Isaac Tose. And until the next one, take charge.